Okay, so today we're zoning in on one specific group, Group 134, and looking at the list, wow, this must have been a nightmare to judge.
Oh, absolutely. You've got 4 albums here that are all, widely considered classics. The source material itself called them excellent and almost impossible to split.
Impossible. Yeah, I can see why. Because if you're just judging on, like, general excellence...
They'd all pass, easily. But the quest demands cuts. Someone has to go.
So let's name them. Who were the contenders in this Group 134?
We had Paul Simon's Graceland.
Landmark album.
Then Green Day's big rock opera, American Idiot.
Huge.
Gerry Rafferty's Night Owl.
Bit more mellow, but classic 70s.
And Lady Gaga's debut, The Fame.
The pop behemoth. Okay. 4 titans. So let's start at the top then. With competition this fierce, who actually came out number 1? Who got that instant pass?
Yeah, the undisputed winner, according to the Quest's analysis, was Paul Simon's Graceland. It took first place. Straight through.
Okay. Called a masterpiece, a must-pass.
Mm-hmm.
We know Graceland is brilliant, but why? I mean, in a group with American Idiot, with The Fame, what made Graceland so clearly number 1 for this analysis?
Well, the key thing highlighted was its structural perfection, really. It wasn't just mixing styles. It was this seamless integration.
The pop and the African rhythms.
Exactly. That blend, the work with the South African musicians, the analysis found it totally unique and just perfectly done, flawlessly executed across the board.
So consistency was key.
Huge factor. While, maybe other albums in the group had moments that slightly dipped, or the concept maybe wavered a tiny bit, Graceland was seen as incredibly vibrant and consistent start to finish.
Right. It built something new, but also totally accessible.
Precisely. And that level of craft, that structural integrity, made it almost impossible to find fault with in this comparative context. It just stood out.
Okay, that makes sense. Flawless structure beats out maybe bigger commercial hits or even really ambitious concepts if they have tiny flaws.
In the specific ranking system, yes.
But that leads us to the other end. If Graceland was the clear winner, there must have been a big shock in the bottom, right? Who got eliminated?
And this is where it gets really interesting. The album that came in 4th and was therefore eliminated was Lady Gaga's The Fame.
4th? Honestly, that's unbelievable. The Quest itself calls it an excellent pop dance debut. How does an album that massive, with those hits, get knocked out first?
It's purely down to the quality of the competition in the specific group. I mean, you can't deny The Fame. It's packed with anthems, right? Just dance, poker face.
Massive. Starstruck, too. It defined a sound for a while.
Absolutely. A huge commercial success. And the analysis even acknowledged its quality, its influences.
Yeah, I saw that. It mentioned the sound being fresh, funky synth pop in the mold of Madonna back in the 80s. That's high praise.
It is, connecting her right to pop royalty. And it also noted she wasn't just doing one thing.
How so?
Well, it pointed out a shift later in the album towards more of a 70s disco vibe, specifically on the track Summer Boy.
Oh, yeah.
And it even says on that track she sounds a bit like Deborah Harry from Blondie.
Okay, so range, historical nods, huge hits. I have to ask again, how does that album end up 4th? Below American Idiot and Night Owl, which, as we'll get to, the analysis admits had flaws.
Yeah, and that's really the crux of it for this group. It shows what the Quest is actually evaluating. It's not chart impact, not cultural footprint.
It's the execution within the group.
Exactly. The Fame is brilliant pop, brilliant dance.
Yeah.
But maybe, in this specific lineup, its genre execution, while top tier, was seen as maybe less unique or structurally ambitious compared to Graceland's fusion or even Green Day's rock opera concept.
So it wasn't flawed, just maybe less distinct in this specific 4-way race.
That seems to be the implication. When the margins between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th are incredibly tight, just being one of the best pop debuts ever isn't quite enough to guarantee survival against these particular competitors. The 80s synth thing, however well done, maybe didn't feel as groundbreaking next to Simon's Rhythms or Green Day's narrative arc.
Oh, wow. Okay, so The Fame is out simply because the competition was too strong, too varied. Which brings us to the real nail-biter then. The fight for that crucial 2nd spot.
Right. This was the head-to-head, Green Day's American Idiot versus Gerry Rafferty's Night Owl. Punk rock opera against smooth 70s rock.
Polar opposites.
And the analysis literally said splitting them was almost impossible.
Okay, let's break it down. The one that just missed out, finishing 3rd, was Gerry Rafferty's Night Owl. Tell us about its style and, critically, where did it fall short according to the Quest?
Night Owl is just pure class, isn't it? Elegant, quite downbeat, very sophisticated 70s rock, Middle of the road in the best way.
And it had its moments of brilliance.
Oh, definitely. The analysis praised Rafferty's songwriting craft, particularly highlighting tracks like Take the Money and Run and The Holiday. Really strong stuff, very consistent sound.
But consistency wasn't enough here. What was the flaw? Where did it lose that edge?
Pacing. That was the main point. The Quest found that the album occasionally drags in places. It specifically mentioned the track The Way That You Do It as an example.
So even minor dips in energy or momentum.
Can be fatal when you're up against something like Graceland, setting the bar for relentless freshness and then competing with the energy of Green Day. Night Owl is super elegant, maybe just didn't maintain quite enough dynamic punch throughout to win this specific fight.
Gotcha. Which means the winner of this battle, taking second place and moving on, was Green Day's American Idiot.
Correct. The rumbustious conceptual punk record, the complete opposite of Rafferty.
So why did it win? Its strengths.
Ambition, mainly. American Idiot is this huge, high-energy concept album, and it hits some incredible peaks. The analysis singled out Boulevard of Broken Dreams as a moment of real brilliance.
An anthem, for sure, captures that whole dramatic feel.
Exactly. The scope, the lyrics, the power. But it wasn't seen as flawless either.
Ah, okay. What was the issue identified with American Idiot?
It was almost the flip side of Rafferty's problem. If Night Owl occasionally dragged, American Idiot occasionally got a bit much.
Too much.
Yeah, the observation was that, in places, it gets lost among its own thrashing punk sound. Basically, it's so committed to being loud and abrasive and conceptual that sometimes the musical clarity or distinctiveness kind of gets overwhelmed by the sheer noise and momentum.
Okay, so we have one album that sometimes slows down too much and one that sometimes gets lost in its own noise. A tough choice. How did Green Day end up sneaking it, as the analysis put it?
It seems to come down to dynamism and the overall impact of the concept. Even with those moments of getting lost, the peaks on American Idiot, the sheer energy and the narrative drive were judged to be higher, more impactful than the smoother consistency of Night Owl.
So the dramatic scope gave it the edge.
It seems so. American Idiot, despite its flaws, felt maybe less compromised overall in this specific group than Night Owl did. Its ambition, even when slightly messy, won out over Rafferty's elegance that occasionally lacked punch.
What a fascinating way to dissect music. Okay, so for everyone listening, let's recap the final official ranking for this incredibly tough album, Quest Group 134.
Number 1, Paul Simon, Graceland.
Advancing. Number 2, Green Day, American Idiot.
Also advancing.
Number 3, Gerry Rafferty, Night Owl.
Eliminated.
And number 4, Lady Gaga, The Fame.
Also eliminated.
So the big takeaway here seems to be that just being universally loved or massively successful doesn't cut it in this quest.
Not at all. We saw Graceland's structural genius rewarded, sure, but the real story is how high the bar was. Albums like The Fame, genuinely brilliant records, got cut not for being bad, but because their specific strengths maybe didn't hold up as well against these particular competitors under these specific criteria.
It really throws a spotlight on how subjective quality evaluation could be, doesn't it? Even with albums we all kind of agree are great, this wasn't about which one you personally like the most.
No, it was about trying to find the album with the fewest exploitable weaknesses when put under this intense comparative pressure cooker.